What's up, guys? So today's video is going to be on the TTI TDC Hop Up chamber. So this Hop Up chamber I was purchased with some TTI parts. So as you see on the website, I have some TTI inner barrels, and now you will see the TTI Hop Up chamber included with the built-in CNC TDC. So that is this right here. I'll give you guys a close-up of it. If I can get it all lined up. So that's what it looks like. I'll have some better photos on the website, but that's just like a close-up of what it is. From what I can tell, it seems very sturdy and durable. It doesn't seem flimsy in any area. What comes out the most from this design is it looks exactly like the Action Army Hop Up chamber, which everyone already pairs with this Tritos TDC anyways. So literally it's the Action Army Hop Up and then TTI's built-in TDC on top. It does include all the parts needed, so let me get some of these parts out here. Pop this open. So here's like your drill module. It's more of a CNC aluminum module compared to the 3D printer module from Tritos. And then TTI does include 3 sticky little adhesives for the TDC wheel to attach to. And then you also do get a drill bit as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And then all of the smaller parts, I'm going to toss into here. And that's about it. So looks like it comes with about 3 screws. As you guys remember, the Action Army Hop Up comes with a rubberized nub, which is still going to be included on this TTI Hop Up TDC, which is interesting because that's what makes me believe this is literally like a one-to-one of an Action Army Hop Up, but that's pretty cool to see. It's hard to tell how well it'll work because I've only used the included Tritos nubs instead of using the original Action Army Hop Up nub with the Tritos TDC. So now it's like required to have. They don't give you options to adjust really what nubs you use in this Hop Up chamber, which is the benefit of the Tritos TDC from what I can tell so far. So we'll see how that goes. But what I had originally on this was the standard stock Hop Up with the Tritos TDC 2.0 Pro, and now I'm putting it back in the box and I'm going to exchange it out and see how this Hop Up TDC combo does. I would say this is kind of like a sleeper release. Like, no one really has talked about it, haven't seen any videos on it, and it's been kind of under the radar. No one's really done anything on it, so I'm just going to do a full install and hopefully it goes well. I'm just going to try and throw it all in one video, so let's see how that goes. I've already disassembled everything to keep all the boring parts out, and yeah, we'll just hop right into it. I'm going to disassemble the stock Hop Up, so let's go from there. And the inner barrel I am currently using is the Edgy 6.01 200mm inner barrel, so the same length as a stock VSR-10 inner barrel, but it is stainless steel and it's a 6.01, so much better than the stock brass barrel that you'll get with the VSR-10 out of the box. So yeah, that's definitely an improvement. And then I'll be using a Sniper Mechanics NOR 60-degree bucking with this inner barrel and Hop Up TDC setup from TTI. So let me get these screws out of here. And then I'll just throw those there. Slowly take this apart. Want to keep some of the original Tritos parts just in case I want to go back to this TDC, because I don't know how this TDC is. I haven't seen reviews on it. I haven't personally tried it out myself, but I'm willing to give it a go here and see how well it is. It seems very promising, honestly. The build quality is very solid. That's the biggest thing that stands out, is the TDC itself is very durable. Whether or not it works good, I couldn't tell you, but we'll get to that later in maybe later videos of performance test of that. So let me get some of this Teflon tape off of my bucking, because I did put that on to, even though it's not really required anymore, because the Sniper Mechanics buckings have a really good seal to them already to begin with, but I just throw it on there kind of as a habit, I guess you could say. So I'm going to try and take some of this off, so bear with me here. Come on. There we go. So that is the Teflon. Just throw this stuff in the garbage here. On the carpet for me. Not in the garbage just quite yet. But get this as much as I can off of my inner barrel. And then I'll give you a close-up of the inner barrel I'm using so you guys can see. Here is the inner barrel from Edgy. And then my Sniper Mechanics 60-degree Nor bucking. Oh, just dropped it. Let me go grab it. So yeah, that's what we'll be using. So stock hop-up chamber is no longer going to be in this build. All right, so to start things off, I did already pre-open it, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do. I haven't installed it yet, so I haven't actually installed it. So I'm kind of going off of some of the instructions, and that's about it, because there's no videos or anything out there on this. So we'll see how this goes. So as far as I know, an Action Army hop-up, I know how to do that. So we'll start with installing this. Pop this bad boy on here. Make sure those are aligned. I'm going to put this up to the light so I can see if the patch is right where it needs to be within the inner barrel. It looks to be. Looks to be centered. Perfect. Awesome. So it's centered. Now I've got the sleeve on there. Now from here, I'm going to completely remove the wheel right off the bat. That's what it looks like. You put this on at the very end once you've already drilled the hole and everything on the barrel. So there's that, and then I'm going to undo these screws here because I still have to put the nub in, so you'll see that here in a second. Smaller Allen key here. Too small. I guess you could consider this a live stream because I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to go straight through so you guys can see everything that goes into installing this from the beginning to the end. Okay, so there's that screw. First screw removed. Man, it's like jammed in my Allen key. I have to take a pliers stick. Jeez. There we go. Okay. Alright, there's that one. Sorry, some of this I'm not going to get on video because I keep it too close to my body and you can't really see what's going on here, but there's two screws on top. Here's the second one to that screw. The screws are quality screws because they're pretty good. They're not in there Loctite, so that's a plus that you don't have to worry about. And then let me remove this little piece here. There's no springs or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about springs jumping out at you like you do with the original Action Army Hop Up, as most of you know. So that's a plus. And then this is what you install. So I'm gonna get a close up of this for you guys. So it only comes with one option. You've got the nub, and then you've got the CNC nub that goes over it to cover it and apply pressure to that rubberized nub that you see on the left here that's black. Looks like the same kind of nub that comes with the Action Army Hop Up, the original one. So keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm gonna slide this into the hop chamber. So, oh, and one more thing I wanted to add is this, they've updated this Action Army Hop Up. Not really an Action Army Hop Up, but it just feels and looks, and it just feels like an Action Army Hop Up, but it's a TTI Hop Up. What they did was they added a Delrin ring on the end of the hop up chamber where the cylinder head meets the hop up, which is going to impact how quiet it is when you slide the bolt forward, and also just it lessens the vibration and noise altogether with that little rubberized pad, which is a huge upgrade. So like, this is insane. Like that's like right there is just like one more benefit to this TDC Hop Up combo. So another thing that is a perk to this. So let's go in and insert this hop up, or insert the barrel. So this goes there. All right, that is inserted all the way through. Now it does come with 2 screws just to go on the sides to insert with that sleeve that goes on the inner barrel. So I'm going to insert that. Most of you guys know about that with the original Action Army Hop Up. I'm going to put that in right now. This one's slightly small. I have a good feeling about this combination. This actually, like I said, is pretty promising of a combo. Definitely a competitor to the Tritos TDC, and slightly more affordable too, so keep that in mind. Alright, so that's in there. Because by the time you get an Action Army Hop Up and you buy the Tritos TDC, you'll be paying just about the same price. So I wouldn't say quite cheaper, but very comparable in price, and depending on what you want to do, if you want it all set up in one or you buy it separately, I mean, it just pretty much goes with preference. If you like adjusting your nubs and stuff, you might want to go with the Tritos TDC, but if you like it all, you know, more durable, slightly more features, other than the nub adjustments and stuff, you might want to go with the TTI Hop Up TDC combo. Alright, so let me get this in here. So that's there. And then from here, you can see the rubber from the bucking. Now I'm going to insert the nub as best I can here without dropping anything. Already too late for that. Alright, so that's there. I want to make sure this is centered. This may take a few tries because the rubber doesn't really fit perfectly inside of this CNC nub that covers it. Oh man. I'm gonna try something else. Put it in upside down. Perfect. So there you go. Here's a close-up, what it looks like, what it should look like. You've got the silver CNC covering on the black nub. The black nub's just down inside of the hop up now. So now we'll continue. Insert the covering. That metal, it's all much more durable parts. The other parts were like polymer on the Tritos kit. Maybe slightly less quality as far as the CNC goes on the wheel and stuff like that, and the outer covering for the Pro kit. So this is all aluminum parts. So a little bit more durable on this version. Which is definitely another perk. Alright, so that is on there, and that's how it should look. Not bad at all. Just pretty much, so far, pretty much installing an Action Army Hop Up now. For the outer barrel, that's the next stage on here. Insert the drill module. So you'll see one end, this is the drill hole because there's no hole here, but there's a hole there. You insert the hole where you would want to then put your TDC in. So that end goes here with the through and through hole towards this side. So I'm gonna just drop it in here. Oh, a little too far. Okay. And that's in there. And then it does come with a screw to lock in the drill module, so that's good to have. The Tritos kit did that too, which was nice. Both of these kits are very, user-friendly for the most part, by giving you everything you need to install it. So there really isn't much you have to do to actually install anything. And from what I can tell, my holes already line up. So if you already had one of the Tritos TDCs, your hole should be about the same. So the holes will go through and through. So, I mean, as far as the holes go, there's no drilling needed. Because, I mean, if I stick the drill bit in there, it's just going to go right, through the barrel. So you don't have to put in, you don't have to drill in the hole. So that's good to know. But let's say you don't have the Tritos TDC already installed and you're just swapping this out for the TTI Hop Up TDC. You'll just need to use the included drill bit and then just drill down into the module, and you would drill from this side and then drill down just like that. But for now, one last step we have to do. Okay, so next up, now that the hole is drilled, we're going to put the barrel in and the hop-up chamber, making sure this end is facing where the hole would go and where the wheel is going to be set at. I have some foam inserts here that I like to have within the barrel to add a little bit of dampening, and you know, just to internally suppress my barrel. So let me just get this all lined up and go from there. So I'm just slowly putting this in here. You just stick it right in. The foam, you just kind of slide all the way down into there, further into the barrel. Just kind of the foam inserts. You don't necessarily have to do this. This is just something I like to do to keep it internally suppressed, which is, I think, helpful in dampening some of the noise, but maybe unnecessary, maybe not, but I found it to be helpful. Okay, so now that that's in there, we just want to make sure the barrel's lined up. I just, you know, get a screwdriver and kind of align the barrel and then push the hop up forward, just like that. And then this should go in. Now the barrel's there. And then you just want to make sure the holes line up. So there's the hole from the, I don't know if you can see it here, but that hole should line up with the hole that you drilled. And then this hole should line up with your hop-up block hole. The hole that we're worried about now is for the wheel, which, if I can get it to, there we go, right there. Those holes line up. So now let's insert the wheel and the stability kit for the wheel. So this, we'll need to get our three-sided, or double, three-sided, that makes no sense, double-sided tape. This is just a spare in case you screw up or something, or if you take it off and resell it, then you have a spare to give to somebody else. But for now, hopefully I don't screw up, and I just need the one. So let's get this double-sided tape on here. Okay, that's on. Nice. That sticks on there just like that. And then we're just gonna put this wheel in first. I'm kind of taking the steps of from the Tritos TDC and kind of applying it to the TTI TDC because it's very similar, both using similar hop-up chambers, but this part is a little bit more durable in my opinion. This whole setup here compared to this whole setup here, it's very more fine-tuned and durable. I keep saying that, but it is true. All right, so now let's get this going. Let's screw this down. The question is, will it perform as well as the Tritos TDC? That I do not know, because that's what matters most here. Okay. Okay, slowly bring it down. Don't over tighten it, because then you're going to over hop your barrel, and then you're going to screw everything up. So you don't want to over tighten it to where you already have the nub just sticking down into the barrel, and you're not even going to be able to shoot a BB out of your barrel. So just be very gentle with it, and then make sure that line on the top here is straight. So there's a line right here. Make sure it's straight, and then you'll know it's in the right direction. All right, and then apply some pressure to let that adhesive kind of apply down onto the outer barrel. It looks like it is applied. I'm going to kind of back out the wheel a little bit just in case I did push it down too far, because that's a huge thing. I don't want to over hop my barrel right off the bat with the hop up chamber and everything. So, but I do want that outer covering to be stuck directly to the new outer barrel, or not the new outer barrel, but to the outer barrel. And the adhesive looks like it's in place now. It's sturdy. It didn't take too long to dry. It took maybe like 20 seconds. I'm just holding it down, so that's pretty cool. Now I'm just gonna eyeball it, make sure it's kind of lined up. Looks lined up to me. Looks straight. Yeah, that's definitely straight. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys get a good close-up of it, if I can get this light to kind of show you. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's about as good as I can get it, because right now it's, you know, 10 o'clock at night or something like that right now, 9:30. So I'm using as much light as I can get in here. So that is what it looks like when it's finished. We're going to now put the hop up block on here. So that's the next step. Need this Phillips. One Phillips down, one Phillips to go. Alright. Man, that wheel does look like it's on there. Pretty straight, that's for sure. Okay. So the hop up block is now on the hop up chamber and the outer barrel. Now it's pretty much just a drop in. I'm going to screw it into the receiver and cylinder setup here. So I'm just going to screw this on. I'm just going to put this up to the light to make sure I have it on there. Looks right. Perfect. Alright, now I'm just going to insert the barrel nut. Screw that down there. Nice and tight. Not too tight, but just tight enough. Alright, and then time to drop this on to the chassis here. This is the VSR-10 chassis, as you can tell. This you know, can go into a VSR-10 too. It's made for a VSR-10, but it can also go to a VSR-1, as you can see. So testing two things with one stone. Okay, let's just, okay, let's drop this in there and test that out. Looks like it drops in good. Nice, perfect. Looks like everything's aligned for the most part. And then screw it down. Yep, that screws in there pretty good. And there's already pre-installed screws that go into your receiver. So just make sure those are aligned. Then you want to make sure that center screw is in here nice and tight, so everything stays together good. Great, that's good. And then we don't need that. And that's pretty much how it goes on there. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then you'll see a plus. Bring this up to the camera now that it's all together. But you'll see a plus symbol and a minus symbol. The minus symbol is going to put less hop up tension onto your bucking, and the plus symbol is going to increase hop. So the BB flight path will go up with the plus, the BB flight path will go down with the minus. You don't want to over hop it by screwing it down with the plus, go in the plus direction, because then you'll no BBs will come out of the barrel. You'll over hop your barrel. So make sure it's, you know, right in the sweet spot. So that takes some time to adjust, just shooting it downrange, a couple hundred rounds or so. Eventually you'll get it in the right spot. But there you have it. That's how you do it. I'm not going to put on everything else, but this video was just pretty much to show you how to install the TTI Hop Up TDC chamber. I will have these available on the shop, obviously. As far as testing it, I'll have test videos, you know, later down the road, but for now, this is just the install. And first impressions, it's definitely, I think, a step in the right direction of improving on what Tritos has made here. Maybe not as much adjustability with it, with not having enough, you know, bucking adjustments, or not bucking, nub adjustments. Tritos has a bunch of different nubs you can test out to adjust, kind of tweak it a little bit, but this one just has the one option, which has its ups and downs, but for the most part, you know, you can always throw the Omega nub in there if you really wanted to. And there's a few other ones out there, maybe some 3D printed nubs you can put in there too, if you really want to adjust on your own. But the nub that it comes with is the Action Army nub, and most people have had good luck with that nub. So I have high hopes for it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a good look at it from afar. And yeah, I'll get a close-up of it before I close this video. And there it is. All right, well, you guys have a good one, and hopefully you guys got some good information from this video, and you guys have a great day.